Hey, welcome to Black Garden Chic. I'm Alexis from the bottom of Alabama, and today we're gonna be talking about deadheading some zinnias. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the dead heads off of my zinnias, but also preserving them to preserve the seeds for next growing season. So what we're gonna be doing is cutting the heads off, and I'm gonna be showing you that. I have some shears here. I already have a container prepped, and I'm gonna show you what I'm going to be doing. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna cut the heads off to focus the energy off of the dead or dying flower to promote more growth. And also when I cut the heads off, I'll be cutting them off, putting them in this prep container with paper towels. And what I'm going to be doing is letting the flowers dry, and I'll be able to harvest something out of them like this. So this is a one zinnia seed. So let me pull so this is one flower, and then if I pulled one petal out, one dried petal out, two dried petal out, those are the seeds. So these seeds have given me all of these flowers along this thick bed. And so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take you with me as I dehead quite a bit, so I can go ahead and prep for next growing season with my seeds that's coming from the dead heads. So nothing's going to waste here as far as my zinnia seeds. What I'm going to be doing is not only just clearing out what looks to be a little dry and dusty, but also promoting growth and also preserving for next growing season. So today is May 19th, and if you have not yet, go exercise your right if you choose to, and let's get into the video. Okay, so in a short that I've given you already, I already showed you how I dehead or deadhead some zinnias. I'm going to focus on this bed here because if you can't tell, there are some vibrant flowers, some less than vibrant flowers, and then there is some like dusty flowers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to deadhead a few of the ones that's not very nice looking. So what I'm going to do is show you how I did here. Now, disclaimer, I am not a professional. I am not saying that I am Queen Zinnia seed harvester. This just works for me. Now, I have shown you before I even do this, I have shown you before that every zinnia that you see growing, or every zinnia plant that you see that is emerging, have came from seeds that I harvested, just like I'm about to show you how to do. So once again, disclaimer, I am not a professional, but I do like the method that I do. It is prolific, it's productive, and here I go, season 2, doing it again. So here we go. So what I do is I find a zinnia flower. We're gonna do this one. This one's a little taller. What I like to do is feel the flower, and I like to feel that it's a little hard and dry. Some zinnia flowers will feel a little dry, and you can hear the dryness on them. Some of them are still pliable, they still move. Some don't move as much as far as without a little force to them. So what I do is I focus on the ones that looks a little rough, beat up, and the ones that feels a little hard. So we're going to take a simple one. We're going to do this one. It's a little rough. It does not split into 2 plants. So what I do is I take my shears and I cut right below, right above where the leaves split again. I cut that plant off, and then what I do is I go ahead and snip it at the base, and I take the dead dying part where the seeds are in there. As you can see, there is a petal with a seed. It's not dry enough for me, so what I do is I toss it in my bucket. And I will do this in deadhead. Now, what I'm doing is not only collecting flowers for potential seeds, but I'm also making this area look a little bit more presentable and also just encouraging growth. So as you can see, I'm gonna do quite a few of them on camera. I might not cut the heads off right now. We'll cut the stem off right now, but they will be cut later. And like I said, me deadheading these is encouraging more growth, because the energy is not being focused on that flower anymore. It's being focused on more growth. So I like to cut as much as that flower and that stem off, so that the flower can kind of like wake up, rejuvenate, and be like, hey, it's time to get back to work. Whatever was holding us back or taking all of our energy is no longer here anymore. So let's get back to work and put our energy into something else. So that's what we're doing. So we're gonna probably take time to clean this bed. Now this is a good example right here of a flower that is split, that has two areas on it. Let's cut this one off because it's distracting. It's bending, so I want to cut that one off. But this is a flower that has multiple side flowers coming off of it. What I do is I cut it all the way down and then let the new flower be, the new budding flower be the tallest part of the plant. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna come clean a lot of this bed out. So watch me clean a lot of this bed out. Just redirect energy. That is the sole purpose of this. And also it just makes the bed look a little healthier too, because if you have half vibrant flowers and half dying or dead flowers, your bed tends to look like it's not being well maintained. And even though it's not for anybody else's eyes or opinion, I do want to make sure I have a healthy looking bed. I don't know. So, like I said, any of the beat up flowers, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. It will cause me to lose a lot of the height of the flower bed, which is fine, because at the end of the day, I may be losing height, but I'm gaining seeds, and the bed just looks better. So these are the flowers that I harvested from that quick little haircut that I gave the flower bed. And the flower bed looks a little better. It could use a few more purging flowers, like this one and this one. These two in the back. So it could definitely use a generous haircut, but by doing this, it just makes it look like a healthy bed. And so now a lot of the energy will be focused on producing better flowers, more flowers, better flowers on the deck. So it is hot. So what I did do is, here is the evidence of the haircut that I gave my zinnia bed. And like I said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be waiting until flowers such as these sit in this dry container and shrivel up till it's like this. And then what I'll do is I will pull each petal for one zinnia seed. And I will do that for every petal. And I have really harvested every, it's just a petal, not a seed. I have actually harvested every seed just like this, just pulling the petals apart and harvesting every seed just like this. So that's what I will be doing. But I like to wait until I've collected quite a bit and just come in and just start pulling. Like I just, because I'm pulling it carefully because I don't want it to drop. But what I will do is, let's see, can I pull you down just a tad? What I will do is I'll just take time and just, over a safe container, just pull a couple of petals very fast, pull it and go. And then have it in an environment where I can collect them. So that's what I do. And then I also will split this middle piece just in case I missed any seeds. So I will split those. And then, search the middle for any missing seeds I have. And like, for example, there's a seed that I would have missed if I didn't do that. So that's it. That's all I wanted to come with, a short video about harvesting zinnia heads, zinnia seeds, and showing you what I do in regards to collecting them for harvest for the next season. So to be honest with you, I had two beds last year of zinnias, and I actually purchased those seeds a couple of years ago, but I actually planted them last year. I planted about 500 seeds per bed in 2 4x2 beds. And at one point, all I was doing was harvesting the flowers and then just kind of like throwing them away after they died. But then I watched a YouTube video where you could harvest and be able to maintain your own steady seed supply for just harvesting and deadheading the zinnias. And I was like, of course I'll do that. So I started doing that. I started doing that immediately afterwards, and I had got so many containers. I had got like between 20 and 25 containers of zinnia seeds. And these zinnias are the results of those harvested seeds and the deadheading of those plants. So one thing that will remain as a staple in my garden is deadheading zinnias. And as you saw before, and I will get into more in depth, I will continue to add zinnias, not only in my zinnia flower beds, but all over the garden, because I just love zinnias. They're tall, they're beautiful, they make really nice arrangements, and they're just easy to collect the seeds. So why not do that? So with that being said, thank you for being here with me with this quick little video about deadheading zinnias and prepping their heads and their seeds for next harvest. This is Black Garden Chick, Alexis from the bottom of Alabama, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, chicks.